Every day, scientists work hard to explain some of the greatest questions that have left us stumped for many years. Even though humans have roamed the Earth for thousands of years, there's still a lot about our planet that we simply cannot explain. We've made many significant advances in our knowledge in recent years, but there's still many things, both big and small, that we simply do not understand. In most cases, there's a lack of evidence or simply no way of obtaining more information about strange occurrences. This is the case with many UFO sightings that have taken place over the years. However, if we think of more realistic mysteries, such as the pyramids of Egypt or many other unsolved discoveries, we're often left with far more questions than answers. Today, we'll be taking a look at 10 mysterious events that scientists simply cannot explain. Have you heard of a strange event or case that has left you baffled? Let us know in the comments. What's one of the most unexplainable things you've ever witnessed? The alien from Venus. There have been many reports over the years about humans having encounters or meeting with aliens from other planets. It really took the world by surprise when a story about United States President Eisenhower having met an alien was shared around the globe. According to this story, he was visited by a little green man who claimed to be from Venus. According to an anonymous source who works for the Pentagon, an alien landed on Earth back in 1952 and went by the name Valiant Thor. He was brought in to meet with the president and stayed on Earth for several years, sharing stories about his home planet with the president. This story spread like wildfire when it was first released, but scientists now believe that the story was completely false. According to what we know about Venus, there's no way that life could ever sustain itself on the planet. To make things worse, even if life somehow managed to exist on such an inhospitable planet, there's no chance that the same life forms would be able to live on Earth for more than a few seconds, let alone a few years. Because of this, we don't know for sure where the story came from or who dreamt it up, but it certainly does not seem to be true. Bigfoot. Yes, we've all heard stories about Bigfoot. He's become one of the most widely discussed mythical creatures in modern years, and it seems like television shows, documentaries, and movies are always doing their best to come up with new evidence to prove that Bigfoot does in fact exist. One of the main arguments about the existence of Bigfoot is that there are still thousands of animal species all around the world that have yet to be discovered. If this is true, it makes sense that there may be a large humanoid creature out there somewhere who continues to terrorize the woods and forests of rural areas from time to time. This is likely why most of these stories come from North America and exclusively take place in low-population, densely forested areas. At the moment, there isn't enough credible evidence for scientists to confidently claim that Bigfoot exists. However, on the contrary, there isn't enough evidence to rule out the existence of Bigfoot either. There are constantly new research teams that are being put together to investigate Bigfoot, and they always seem to bring back new and convincing evidence that proves that something is roaming around the woods and forests of North America. However, what this creature is may remain unknown. The origin of the universe. This is a big one. Does anyone really know where our universe came from? For those who believe in science, it's often said that the universe was created after the Big Bang that caused a tiny particle to erupt and multiply, creating the universe as we know it today. But where did this particle come from? For those who prefer a more biblical perspective, many people believe that God created the earth, the universe, and everything within it. But where did God come from? And what was his purpose for creating such a lowly species in comparison to himself? These are the questions that have plagued humanity since the dawn of time. The Big Bang Theory certainly makes sense when you examine it in a certain context. However, in more recent years, there have been flaws popping up in this theory that have nearly disproven it many times. One of the most glaring examples is that we all know it's impossible to create something from nothing. It's one of the many laws of physics. So if the entire universe was created by a Big Bang, we would have to completely rule out all the laws of physics for this to be true. Contrarily, in order for religious beliefs to be true, we have to entertain the idea of infinity, something that we cannot definitively say exists. The biblical belief often claims that God exists and has always existed. However, once again, according to the laws of our natural universe, everything has a beginning and end. Until we all finally meet our end, we may never truly have the answers about how life began on Earth and in other areas of the universe. The history of Mars. Similar to many of the mysteries of Earth, there has been a lot of research about life on Mars and if humans could ever live there for extended periods of time. I'm sure most of us have already heard that Elon Musk is planning to colonize Mars within the next decade, but we really don't know enough about the planet to jump to major conclusions like this. We don't even know that the planet is hospitable for human life. And if it is it possible that humans could have lived there many years ago? The history of Mars is a complete mystery. In more recent years, NASA has discovered markings that look shockingly similar to footprints in the soil of Mars, as well as evidence that water may have once flowed there abundantly. None of this has ever been officially proven, but theories claim that living on Mars could be possible in the very near future. Time will tell if humans ever really make it there or are able to live on the big red planet. The secrets of ancient buildings. If you take a look at many of the archaeological finds from around the world, you'll likely begin to notice that some amazing objects have been created with very simple tools. Workers were able to craft stunning temples, caves, and even the pyramids using nothing but common hand tools and other basic inventions that were at their disposal. However, even with today's modern engineering, it would be nearly impossible to create some of these amazing structures. So how is it then that these ancient humans were able to do so much with so little, especially when the average life expectancy at the time would have only been around 30 years? Were some of these buildings or tools created by sheer accident or chance? Or did they have access to advanced knowledge that has since been lost to time? There's one big theory that claims knowledge of these structures was once passed down from aliens to humans, but this has obviously never been proven. Other religious theories claim that advanced knowledge could have been handed down by angels or God himself. But if so, why have these instructions since been lost? The truth is, we may never know how some of the world's most ancient buildings or structures were really created, or how these ancient humans possessed such advanced knowledge. The secrets of the mummies. Mummies have been found all over the world, but they're commonly found in areas of ancient Egypt. The creepy thing is, we don't know how these mummies were so well preserved after all this time, or why their bodies would have been kept this way. There are many theories about the deaths of the Egyptians and the rituals they would perform after a member of royalty passed on, but many of these theories are just that, theories. In reality, we know virtually nothing about these mummies. Some of these mummies have been found with strange content stuffed inside of them before being sealed away for thousands of years. Even though we've discovered several mummies and unearthed their ancient remains, there's still no real explanation about how this process took place or how ancient humans would have known how to perfectly preserve a human body so long ago. By far, one of the greatest mysteries of human existence is how these mummies have been able to survive in almost perfect condition after so many years. Near-death experiences. If you live long enough, chances are you'll eventually have a near-death experience that's bound to change your life forever. After having an experience like this, it's unlikely you'll ever be the same person again. For many people, these situations can come in the form of a tragic car crash, a terrible injury, or a drug overdose. For others, they may come in the form of dreams, a health diagnosis, or many other scenarios. Over the years, there have been many people who reported having near-death experiences. In times like this, people reported being separated from their bodies, with some people saying they felt as though they were able to move around the world of living freely and without restraint. Some people say that while in a hospital, they were able to hover over their own bodies and watch as doctors examine them. However, before going too far, they'd be snatched back into their earthly form and brought back into the realm of the living. Many people report sweeping darkness or a shining bright light, as well as a feeling of love and peace. Some people even report seeing a calm, flowing stream that's surrounded by their loved ones who have since passed on. Doctors and scientists have never been able to explain this strange sensation that people feel when they're close to death, and it's unlikely we'll ever know the true meaning behind these experiences. The existence of aliens. To put it plainly, many people believe it's arrogant to think that humans are the only living creatures throughout the entire universe. We know that humanity's existence is completely unexplainable. It's shocking enough that we're able to sustain ourselves and continue to bring new life into the world. But it's even more strange that we are conscious, sentient beings that are capable of independent thought. This has led many scientists and conspiracy theorists to believe that it's very likely that life could exist on other planets in our solar system, even if these creatures don't exactly measure up to us humans. As we continue to invent technology that allows us to trek deeper and deeper into space, there's no telling who or what we might discover out there. Alien life is without a doubt possible, but is it truly probable? When you really think about it, the chance of life existing at all is virtually non-existent. However, when you think about life existing in multiple places throughout our galaxy, the chances fade to virtually zero. Yet, regardless of this, there's still a solid chance that life may exist outside of our solar system. The existence of UFOs. UFOs have been reported in the skies around the world for thousands of years, yet we've never found an official explanation about what may be going on. Some of these reports date back to the Middle Ages, and some have been immortalized in paintings or artwork from many years ago. If you think back to the ancient Sumerians, they often told stories about creatures who would visit them from the sky, sharing their many inventions with them and helping to spur humanity into the future. For the most part, the Sumerians classified these people as gods or angels, but some researchers wonder if they could have been aliens who visited Earth via a UFO or flying saucer. The truth is, we will likely never know. Psychic powers. One of the largest mysteries in the modern world is whether or not psychic powers truly do exist. I'm sure we've all heard stories about palm readers or psychics that can predict the future. But what about psychics who claim to have the ability to feel energies or presences that are far beyond the grave? There have been many stories about psychics who are able to solve decades-old murders, and also stories of psychics who are able to read letters or cards without ever seeing them, often with 100% accuracy. Science has never been able to explain the existence of these so-called psychics, yet there are many people around the world who claim to have a sense of connection with a world far beyond our own. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.